Alright, let's talk some Justice League spoilers. And by spoilers, I mean not a ton. I'm mainly going to focus on one big thing that I didn't talk about in my main review that I really wanted to talk about, but I couldn't without spoiling anything. And that is Superman. He's pretty great. Okay, so Henry Cavill, this is basically almost going to be like a deleted segment from the main review. Henry Cavill as Superman is incredible. Now, I've always loved Henry Cavill as Superman. Man of Steel, I loved him. Batman v Superman, I thought his character progression in that movie was really good, and his death scene was very impactful for me. So when he comes back in Justice League, I was kind of worried on how they were going to handle it. And they chose a really interesting way to do it. They're talking, and they get the mother box that the humans had from Cyborg, and they're talking, and they're like, Batman's like, you know, it could bring him back. And then, for a second, you're not sure what he's talking about. And then everyone's just like, no. Wonder Woman's like, no, we're not bringing him back. He died. That you can't do that. And he's like, we don't really have a choice. We need him. The world needs him. So a lot of the team kind of reluctantly agrees that the best course of action to stop Steppenwolf is to try and bring Superman back to life via the same method that Silas Stone brought Cyborg back to life. So they go to the Kryptonian ship from Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, and they dig up Superman's coffin, they dig up Clark Kent's coffin, and they take him out, and they put him in, like, the goop stuff that Lex Luthor put Superman, or Zod's body into when he was gonna create Doomsday. And they put him in there, and then I'm just sitting there like, this isn't happening, is it? Like, this is not how they're bringing Superman back, is it? I'm like, it's not gonna work. It's gonna fail, and then someone's gonna bring him back later. And then they're like, we're not gonna be able to activate the mother box. The ship doesn't have enough energy. And the Flash is like, I could probably generate that energy. And so Cyborg, they activate the mother box, and the Flash goes through, and he zaps it and activates it, and it touches the water, and it brings Superman back to life. And he freaking flies out, and they're just like, it worked. And he lands outside of the monument from Batman v Superman, and it's still destroyed. There's still just, like, chunks of rock and stuff there from when Doomsday smashed it. And he's just looking around, and then the Justice League all gather around him, and it was a really great moment. But the thing is, Clark kind of wasn't himself. He was kind of, like, freaking out. He was, you know, just brought back from the dead, so he starts, like, Cyborg accidentally attacks him because his whole thing in the movie is that his powers are constantly evolving. He doesn't know how to control it. So the suit, or just his cyborg parts, create a gun and try and shoot at him. So then Superman starts attacking he starts attacking Cyborg, and the other Justice League members are fighting against him to keep him from killing Cyborg. And then we get a nice little fight scene where Superman is evil, and then Batman comes out, and he turned off the voice modulator, and he's like, Clark. And then he's just like, I know you. And he goes up to him, grabs him, flies him up, and he's like, talking to him, he's like, you won't let me live, you won't let me die. And then he basically ends it by pulling a parallel between the first time they met. And he goes, tell me, do you bleed? And then Batman's like, Alfred, bring out the big gun. And then Alfred pulls up in a car, and Lois Lane jumps out, and I was like, that's a big gun right there. For Superman, that is a big gun. And I was just really, really surprised by how they brought Superman back. I mean, I guess I was just expecting something different. I didn't know really what I was expecting. I just wasn't really expecting that it would be the League that brought him back. I thought it'd either be like Steppenwolf that brought him back, or he just came back. I didn't think it would actually be the League themselves that brought him back. So that was an interesting kind of turn. And there's a part where Aquaman says, like, you lose a part of yourself when you die. I think I know what Superman lost. His depression. Because when he comes back and he's actually, like, in his right mind, he is smiling. He is quipping. It is so weird in a little bit of a way. It's kind of weird because you're watching him and it's like, that's not the same Superman. But I love him even more. And then I kind of came to a realization of why he's so different. There's a part where he says, I like being alive. And I can understand how, like, being dead and then being alive again, and you liking being alive, you might want to smile a bit more. But so, the final battle happens. The League is fighting Steppenwolf. Superman flies in, and he's smiling, he's fighting. He uses his freaking freeze breath, which we've never seen him use in the movies before, I think. I'm trying to think if he used it in Batman v Superman, now that I'm thinking about it. He might have used it in the fight against Doomsday, but as far as I can recall, this is the first time we're seeing him use wind breath, or freeze breath, or whatever. But that was really cool to see. And it was so great. I loved seeing Superman back. Like, it felt like a genuine loss in Batman v Superman, and seeing him back in the movie, I was so happy. It was almost like losing someone close to you and them coming back. That's kind of how it felt. When you lose someone that's close to you and then they... I mean, obviously this wouldn't realistically happen, but if they came back to life, that sense of excitement and happiness, that's exactly how I felt with Superman in this movie. Other than that, there's not really much spoilery stuff to talk about. Barry gets a job with the Central City Police at the end, which is his occupation in the comics. Bruce Wayne decides to turn the ruins of Wayne Manor into the Hall of Justice. There's a Green Lantern in the movie. During this scene where Diana is explaining to Bruce the history of Steppenwolf, we get to see this flashback scene with the Amazons, the Atlanteans, and the humans fighting against Steppenwolf and his army. And there's a Green Lantern in there for a second, and then he gets killed. And then the ring flies away. But yeah, I really just thought this movie was really great, and I cannot wait to see it again, and again, and again, and then buy it on Blu-ray and watch it again, and again, again, and again, and again, and again, and again. I really love this movie, guys. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what your favorite scene in this movie was. Whether it be something with Superman, The Flash, Aquaman, Cyborg, Batman, Wonder Woman, anything. And also let me know who your favorite character in the movie was. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.